my gardening friends. Exciting update. Well, it's weekend. Mind you know, it must be third weekend in January, 21st, 22nd. And midweek I received a parcel. I'm guessing it's from TV Brown. Here it is. Here it arrives. Arrived, and I'm just gonna open it. I'm guessing it's my sweet potatoes. I've been talking about them a couple of weeks ago when I bought some from the garden centre, and I'm just gonna try to see what's in this parcel. The two varieties I've been talking about, the Blue Danube and Arad Victory, which I bought from the garden centre, kind of a little bit on a whim. These arrived and here we are. So we've got pink fir apple, which is main crop, and they look really lovely. Nigel is not all that fond of pink fir apple, but I rather am. And then we have Picasso, which is another main crop. And they're all Scottish basic sweet potatoes. So it's 1.5 kilo per each of the bags, which the nice potatoes, if they are really rather big, you could always halve them and just, you know, let them kind of dry up on the windowsill and cheat them like that, or not cheat them, just plant them straight. Then we have as well Charlotte, everybody's favorite, that's secondarily. Then we have Aran Pilot. These, I've been waiting for these for quite a while, so I'm very excited about that. And I've got Rocket, which is the first early, and also another first early called Vilja. Can you see that? I'm going to try to, I can't pronounce that ever. Now, these are another one of my favorites, and it all comes up with the handy leaflets and obviously the packing list dispatch note. So very similar to what I received from Marshall's. I'm going to put that back because I need to go into the cold space, not to let them sprout just yet. I think I really, in an ideal world, I would like them to start cheating them sort of end of February, and maybe one of the first earlies mid-February, and then successively, because I won't be able to plant all of them in one weekend. We're having here, 10, 11 kilograms of potatoes, so and 8 different varieties. I just put them right back, add the other 2 varieties I haven't, put them in a well wrapped but in a cool shed. So these guys have been planted a week ago, and there's very good germination on these. On the left, these are planted sort of almost singular, and there is germination on them, but just not as good as on the spring onion, which obviously I put few seeds, 2, 3 seeds, 4 seeds in each of the modules, so the multi-sowing won't hurt them being transplanted. I will not be pricking them out. These, however, I thought if I get more, I planted sometimes 2, if I get more than 1, I'll pull the second one out. It's just a trying. So we've got Red Baron, Sturon, and then a spring onions, Ramrod, Lilia and White Lisbon. that looks really nice. The other things I have planted, sowed, was these, they're going to be difficult to look at them. Okay, so these are the pak choy, and these might get slightly leggy. I might have to put them in pots. Then we have Swiss chard, which you can see some of it is mixed, and the second row I think is all a sort of ruby color. And then we've got some Welsh walking onion, again in a little multi-sown bits, and I haven't got yet any germination or parsley, but that might take time. All I need to make sure this floor is actually heated from below, so it all acts as a giant propagator. But I have a propagator in one of the bedrooms. I'll show you what I've got there and how that looks like. Okay, so in the little propagator I've got, well, these are all aubergines. So the one which is germinated was Black Beauty. I've got a couple of those. Sorry, let me just show this properly. So we've got Black Beauty, Moneymaker, a long purple early, hasn't germinated as yet. Then we have germination on my Bonica, and also Stada de Gambia, which is the stripy, smaller but very prolific aubergine. I haven't grown that one before, so that's grand. Then we have chilies, and that is some germination on the, let me just get the camera there. So it's some germination on the jalapenos and some on the Hungarian hot wax. These are really quite staple ones, not doing anything crazy this year. And we have just starting to germinate celeriac. So there is something really lovely for the first seeds to germinate. Hello again. Well, it's lovely and warm and toasty inside, but outside it's positively freezing. Come on, Nigel, don't be shy. So we were going in, and I think Nigel will be doing the soft fruit beds. But first I'm gonna have a look what's happening with the greenhouse, because we're hoping this week is the last sort of really bad snap. Well, it's still -3 and it's 10 o'clock, so that's really freezing. In readiness for some seedlings coming in here as soon as it's a little bit warmer, and like onions and leeks and Swiss chard and so on, those which can be left here. And I've got another, let me just show you, the short straw to do the soft fruit, raspberries and gooseberries and so on and so forth. So we will be coming and sort of having a look at what he's doing. And what progress is he making? Well, last week it was the other way around. I was suffering the cold, and he was having a much more cozy job here. So let me just start on that, and I'll show you the progress of what we managed today. Well, the water is frozen absolutely solid. I'm trying to, I was not even breakable by any means. There must be at least 2-3 inches of ice on top. So anything to do with work on in the ground is completely impossible, as you all know. Okay, so look at these guys. They already have buds on them. So soft fruit today, but we naturally starting, and then we don't know how much we're going to make it with. These are summer fruiting raspberries, and it's quite difficult to know at this stage which ones were last year and which ones are this year, because obviously they lost all the leaves and so on. But you can see, well, ours were tied up, the last years were tied up to the fence. So let me just show you. These are tied up here. I don't know if you can see that. So these are all old, and these kind of loose and brown are new. So everything tied up is going. Everything which is loose and has been just loosely sort of tied up so we can pass is going to be now tied up to the fence. So yes, that's a new shoot, and that looks like a new shoot too. So there we go. It's not easy for Nigel to distinguish, but we can go by the fence basically, and anything that is old is going out. So I think we're working in that kind of in that kind of environment when it's that cold. I think it's short stints are the best. We're here today for a couple of hours and then back to the warm house, and we'll see how that feels and if we're coming back tomorrow. Well, okay, I have managed to put the trays in, the long trays here, which actually are the width of the greenhouse, and then I'm putting the internal, another little polytunnel for the seedlings. I'm going to be transferring in a week's time or 2 weeks time. So that's in place. Now I'm going to try to gather all the things we use in apiary in one place, and so on. Well, at the moment this is still looking quite messy, but we're getting more and more space here. So see you in a more. So all I have in these two big boxes is basically super frames which we have harvested honey from, and the new supers which we might need. So, and the building bits. I'm going to try to put all of these things nicely together and out of the way. Well, it's not spring clean, but it's definitely tidy. And all the rubbish have been removed. Well, it's ready. We're ready. I'm just going to come and wipe out the other surfaces which maybe still can be wiped out, and I think we're kind of ready for some seedlings. Just have a look. Even the water inside is frozen. Oh, look, there you go. And by the way, it's 12 o'clock midday, so that's how cold it is.
Well, that's the raspberries cut back a bit and sort of trained. It'll have to be done when it's a bit warmer because my fingers can't tie knots in these temperatures. And I've cleared the polytunnel of all the tomato debris and taken all the things down before that gets sorted, and tidied a bit of the willow tree so it doesn't hang over the allotment too much. And yep, I'm ready to go home for lunch.
That's it. And the greenhouse is relatively tidy, so we're ready for lunch and start for a couple of hours again. I think short and sweet is the way to go in these temperatures.
So it's goodbye from me.
Thank you for watching, and it's goodbye from me too.